guys, it's coffee time. Whoa, the second I started talking, there was all this stuff that just gathered. So last night, I went to the Kimbra concert, and it was so fun. We got there at just the right time because we didn't really care about the opening group. They were good. Like, when we got there, we were like, oh, this music's nice, but they were doing this weird thing where, at first I thought it was cool, I will admit that. They were all wearing white, and then they had a projector projecting, like, different designs on top of them, but there was one point in their final song where the music got so hectic that the image was like, anybody with epilepsy was just screwed. It was so bright and it was flashing so fast that Jeannie and I were like, oh, like, it was terrible. And it went on forever. Like, we thought the song ended and we were like, oh, thank God. And then it was one of those trick endings where they were like, nope, we're gonna do the chorus at least 8 more times. And we were like, no! So that was an interesting way to show up. But we only got there in time to listen to their last, I think, 2 songs, maybe 3 songs. We timed it out pretty well, but then it took Kimbra like a half an hour to set up, so we had plenty of time to like wiggle our way basically to the front, which was awesome. And dude, Kimbra's outfit was hilarious. She walked out and I was like, cause I think anybody who didn't know Kimbra, if you saw like pictures on my phone and you didn't know who Kimbra was, you'd probably be like, oh, you went to see Katy Perry. Like, she just has a very similar look. And her outfit was like bright pink. Her sleeves were pink wigs. And then she had like tinsel all in here. And then her skirt was white with all of this really shiny green stuff on it. And I was like, what is happening on your outfit? But it was cool because I'm a huge sucker for outfits that turn into other outfits. Because we were like, oh my gosh, I hope that she does lots of costume changes. She never did a costume change. Like, she didn't completely put herself into a new outfit, but all of the different pieces like came off so that it looked like she was in something new, and I was like, that is so cool. I love stuff like that because it's the sort of thing that you had to think about in theater, like, oh, could we, rather than having this be a whole separate outfit, could this become a new outfit, or could we trick the audience into feeling like it was a new outfit? Like, you had to think about that sort of stuff a lot. But oh my goodness, she has so much energy. So much energy. I think that it's, I would feel comfortable saying that she looks like she's having the time of her life, to the point that anybody else that I've ever seen on stage now seems like they were being lazy. Like, the entire time she just looks like she's having so much fun and she has so much energy and she's like dancing around, and she obviously loves like all of the people that are in her band. And at one point she was like 3 or 4 songs in and she comes up to the microphone, and I'm not even going to attempt to replicate a New Zealand accent, it's not gonna happen, but she came up to the microphone and she was like, okay, I'm gonna do 2 very un-rockstar things right now, if you'll bear with me. I'm gonna tie my shoe and use my inhaler. And I was like, what? So she like leans down and ties her shoe and then uses her inhaler, and she was like, who all here has asthma? And a bunch of people were like, me! She was like, it sucks, doesn't it? I hate asthma. And I was like, you have asthma and you are jumping all over this stage. All of your songs require you to just like belt out these crazy notes constantly. It blew my mind. I was like honestly extremely impressed with her as like a performer and her stage presence. It was just great. If you like Kimbra's music, or if you don't know who she is, she's the female vocal on Somebody That I Used to Know. But all of her solo songs are so good. Like, I love all of them. She's very, gosh, I'm trying to think of somebody to compare her with. She's got kind of like the indie folk sound to her music. I don't know, I just love her. I love her songs so much. So when Jeannie was like, hey, I have an extra ticket to Kimbra, you wanna come? I was like, ah, like so excited. Yes! I absolutely want to come to this. Ah! And you guys, I had a problem last night because I went to Jeannie's house, and she was like, okay, so we can either go grab dinner and then go to the show, or I made this pasta sauce last night from Food Wishes. I don't know how many of you guys watch Food Wishes on YouTube, but it's like, it's by far my favorite cooking show. Like, I love Ro, and she's like my favorite, like, dessert baking show, obviously, but Chef John is like the master of the food stuffs. It blows my mind. I've never seen him do a dessert, so, but oh my goodness, it all looks so good, you guys. All of the things he makes look so good, and he makes the dumbest jokes during his videos. I love it. I love him. So Jeannie and I are both obsessed with Food Wishes. We watch every Food Wish. And I guess he had like this marinara sauce that he made, and she was, not last night, but the night before, she was like, I've got nothing to do tonight, other than like set up stuff for my new computer, so I think that I'll just make this pasta sauce. It sounds, you know, it sounds nice, and it's got a lot of downtime because you like roast the tomatoes and then you have it simmering and blah blah blah. So she made it, and it was so good. It was so good. She was like, well, you know, if you want to like have some of my pasta that I made, I can just make up a bunch of pasta for us. And I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds good. I had 4 bowls of pasta. We made so much, and I was like, oh man, we made way too much for us. And she was like, I know, man, our eyes were like way bigger than our stomachs. No, we ate all of it. She had 2 bowls and I had 4. I was just like, this is so good. This is so good. I will admit, between the 3rd and the 4th bowl, I had to take a break. But after I had like sat and we had chatted about stuff for a while, I looked at the food again and I was like, how much is left in there? I think like maybe like a bowl is left in there. And Jeannie was like, oh my god, if you can finish it, please finish it, because I don't know if I'll eat it. So just finish it. And I was like, okay. So I did. And it was so good. I much prefer marinara sauces to pretty much any type of sauce. Like, I can't have Alfredo sauces because of the cream, and also they're just way too rich. I've never even enjoyed them really. Garlic sauces are good, but I miss like the tomatoey, the like roasted tomato textures. So I always prefer marinara sauces. Oh, and barbecue sauces like on pizza, just replace them with marinara. I don't like barbecue sauce on pizza. I don't know, man. Marinara and I, we have this sort of a relationship. I just love it so much. And my dad's marinara sauce is so good. It's so good. Although his has meat in it, which most of the time, like, marinara is like meatless, but oh my gosh. Now I want pasta! Oh goodness, now I'm hungry. Anywho, back to the concert. It was just really good. It was a nice set time. And what was I going to say? Oh my goodness, that was incredible. Oh, I hate that. I hate when that happens. I failed you, brain. Brain, you and I thought that we were having a moment, and then it just died. I found out today why sometimes when you're falling asleep, you get the feeling of falling and you wake up. I didn't know. I had never thought about it as being like a physiological thing, I guess. I had never really like considered it to that extent, but apparently the reason that you get the feeling of falling and you're like jerked awake is because when you're falling asleep, just the process of falling asleep, your whole body relaxes, and it relaxes so much quicker than it does at any point when you're awake. Especially, I guess it affects you even more if you're typically stressed out. Like if you're typically tense and then you're falling asleep and you go from really tense to like really relaxed, your brain is like, what's happening? Are you falling? because it's like the same slack feeling. So your brain freaks out and is like, wait, what's happening? And tries to save you, basically. I thought that was really interesting. Because at first when I read it, I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because then why doesn't it happen like every time you're falling asleep? But then when I read that like it typically happens if like you've been stressed or you have some sort of anxiety that's like more than usual, and it's just your brain interpreting like normal sleep versus, yeah, I think you understand what I'm saying. But I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I haven't had that happen in a long time, but when I was little it happened to me all the time. Which is funny because I was a very carefree kid, so I don't know why that would be. Anywho, man, now I'm just hungry. I feel like I need to eat. What should I eat though? There's so many questions. Ro and I might go mattress shopping today. That might be a thing. But yeah, I guess I'll go and eat something and buy a new mattress, and I'll inform you guys about that tomorrow. But I hope that you guys had a good day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah.